Hey, and good morning, everyone. This is Common Sense America. I'm Eden Hill. Thank you so much for being here this morning. It is just a little after 9:01 a.m. Eastern Time. It is Thursday, October the 6th. Wow, what a beautiful morning here in Eastern North Carolina. It is finally, the sun is out, the sun is shining. My husband has been out on the water this morning. Was doing his commercial netting, looking for some fish out there, and he called me just a few minutes ago saying there's not too much out there right now. So just a little heads up to all of you out there in Eastern North Carolina. They are slowly coming in. The weather is slowly becoming much cooler. Anyway, we have a great show for you today. I did tease it a little bit last night on social media. We will have Newsmax commentator and weekly host of Money Talk with Melanie, my friend, Melanie Collette. We have been friends for many years, and she will be joining us in a little after the hour. And we're going to be talking about kitchen table budgeting, dollars and cents, what's happening in our nation, what's happening in our pockets, what's happening at the very forefront of our budgets versus what the federal government is doing. And the tax increases, the inflation, the gas, the money that it takes to put food on our table. So we're going to be talking a lot about that this morning. Also, I did post a picture. I'm going to show it again. My dear friend, Melanie Collette, currently doing 24 hours in Facebook jail over super benign posts. These people, you know what? This was on her Twitter account this morning at NJGOP Diva. And, I sat there and just chuckled. She warned me last night when we were talking about this morning's show that there would be a little bit of an issue on Facebook. And you know what? I actually got rejected on Facebook yesterday. For those who are interested, the show I did yesterday with my friend who is who served in public policy at the highest levels of government and now is with the Oak Rose Group, who we had on yesterday, Catherine Haley. That interview was phenomenal. I absolutely loved having her here. We talked about our friendship. We talked about our service. We talked about our faith. We talked about education and the state of education in this country. And Facebook rejected. They rejected it from the standpoint of it went against their community standards. I'm not sure what their standards are now. I have a feeling, I'm not going to say what I have a feeling because I probably will get censored and taken off immediately. So I guess I better be careful. Do I want to be careful? Not really. But I'm just sitting here laughing. I'm sitting here laughing, as we are here at Common Sense America. You can go and check out my interviews, my powerful interviews at Facebook, LinkedIn. I also started it on YouTube. It's at Common Sense America with Eden Hill. And then you can see after show clips on my website, edengordonmedia.com, and also Rumble. And just waiting on my friend Melody to click over. She's having trouble with the link. I'm sitting here laughing because it's Thursday. I'm so thankful it is finally Thursday. It has been a great week and it has been a very long week. So as we are waiting for her to try and click on the link, stand by as we bring my friend over here. I also wanted to tell you a couple things. As we are looking at midterm elections, hey people, we are on midterm elections. If you haven't studied up on your candidates, the time is now. We have 32 days until election day. Pennsylvania is in a heated Senate race. Oz and Fetterman. But the reason why I'm laughing is my friend Chris DeGaulle, 990 AM, the morning drive out of Philly. He played a clip, and I'm citing him because I just absolutely adore his show. He says, I guess, did Fetterman say Fetterwoman? Like, really? I don't understand the Senate candidate and why people actually think he is a viable candidate for the United States Senate for Pennsylvania. If that does happen, hey, mom, dad, and family in Pennsylvania, will you please come down here? It's a lot freer down here in the South. I never thought I would say that, but I think your time may be now to come down here. Also, on a lighter note, You know, I have been posting about the holidays. Everyone out there knows I love Christmas. I love harvest. I love getting ready for the holidays. So, this show isn't all about politics, people. It is also about faith, family, freedom, our God, our country. But it also is, like I said, family. And when we come around during the holiday seasons, it tends to be of either serving those in the community or being with our family. So, as we are preparing for the holiday season, I am going to be bringing you some special segments that basically include pumpkin patches, apple picking, pie baking, which I cannot do. God bless my mother for trying. I cannot bake a pie, so I'm going to attempt again. Come Christmas and preparation for Christmas, as you heard me say last week, my trees go up October 31st. So we're going to be doing some features that focus on home and family, not taking away from Hallmark, not taking away from GAC. I am just purely being me. Ever since I ran for State House, ever since I ran for North Carolina State House for District 13, my skin finally fits. And I will be so honest with you about that. I'm being very vulnerable with this audience, but my skin fits. Yes, I'm 45. I don't care what you think. I'm 45. I really am. And I absolutely love the opportunity that I was able to use my voice in the campaign, talk about issues that these people in this area do not talk about, and they just turn their head and put it underneath the carpet. I'm fed up with it and I'm sick of it. So I am wired on coffee, Pete's Coffee, and Zabar's. I will put a note in for them. But what I'm saying to you is this platform God has given me, and I'm going to raise my voice as loud as I can until somebody says stop. And even when they say stop, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not your little Southern girl who's like, oh, no, you can't talk and you can't talk out of turn and you can't interrupt people when they're eating. Oh, no, that's not me. I will never be that. I am a Yankee living in a Southern world, and I am proud of it. But I also tell you, I want to expose the truth. And there's a lot of lies going around at the top level of government, all the way down here in Eastern North Carolina in Carteret County. And I am seeking to tell the truth and to expose the truth to each and every one of you. So on that note, let me check on Melanie. I know that she was trying to get in through the StreamYard link. Sometimes StreamYard doesn't like to work for us, but we will make it happen one way or the other. It looks like she's messaging me. Also, on that note, as we are headed into election season, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to do a little figuring this morning, or I just Googled it, whichever you'd like to prefer. We have 761 days until the end of Biden, God willing. Hopefully it will not be another stolen election. Oh, I probably just got bumped off of all social channels. 761 days. So mark your calendars. It's right around the corner, and we need to start preparing now. Let's see what Melanie has to say. Well, we're going to go on a quick break so I can get Melanie over here. I'm going to play some music from Will Baker, who provided me his amazing music. It's called I-95. Here we go. We'll be right back. And as Melanie is getting connected back to the show, I need to stop using ums. I tell you what. Well, I love my radio show. I love bringing Common Sense America to you each and every morning, weekdays at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We are streaming on Talk Radio, Defenders Live Talk Radio, and I absolutely love sitting down here and being with each and every one of you. Whether you tune in live or you tune in after the show, I'm grateful for all of your support. From my friend Tracy in Ohio, to my cousin Alyssa in Ohio, to my friends in Florida, Marlene and Christy, to Ruth and Maurice in upstate New York, and of course to my parents in Pennsylvania, my sister-in-law in Pennsylvania. I have a long list of amazing supporters, and of course my Bible study and ladies who I will get to see after this show. They have been such a huge support to me, whether I have top 10 guests or it's just me, myself, and I talking to a screen by myself, knowing that each and every one of you, I'm grateful for all of your support. Thanks, Jen from my Republican ladies group. Thanks for always tuning in. I'm so grateful of your support. I'm grateful of all of those ladies, for Marty and the whole crew that have supported me even after the campaign. Thank you guys for your friendship. Also, I wanted to share something with you yesterday. So if you tuned in yesterday, you heard that I was speaking at an academy, which, as my friend Catherine explained to me afterwards, it's a homeschool school that is located in Swansboro. And she explained it to me it's a learning pod. I guess that's the best way to say it. And I wanted to share with you the opportunity I had to speak to these students. I'm not going to say any names. I want to be respectful of privacy, but I will share with you the conversation I had. I was surrounded by teenagers that were in high school, middle school, and then elementary school. These kids were so much fun. I really didn't want to leave. I knew I had to get back to work, but oh, great. Melanie has just joined. I'm so excited. But let me finish this really quick note. We talked about elections. We talked about dictatorship. We talked about Reagan conservative. And I'm going to bring this conversation in with Melanie, because Melanie is an educator as well as a commentator and as well as as well as a radio host on Money Talk with Melanie, 98.7 The Coast. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Melanie, I am bringing you over here. I'm so glad to see you.
Ma'am, what? Oh, my word. Sorry about that. My phone was just like, nah, we're not doing this.
Is it Thursday? You think it's just Thursday? I mean, everybody's just ready to call it a week.
I don't know. Something's in retrograde, maybe. I don't know. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
Something's in retrograde, so communication is off. I don't know.
Are you sitting in traffic? Are you sitting in a restaurant?
No, I'm just sitting in my car.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm trying not to violate rules.
Oh, we don't want. Well, obviously, you've already violated some rules. I've been playing your image on Twitter.
I'm a hardened criminal now. I mean, listen, I'm a person who literally the only time I've ever been disciplined for something is not having my book covered in high school. One detention. I've never been suspended for anything.
Do I dare ask you what really happened?
Absolutely. Listen, it's and you've known me for years now, right?
Yes.
You know all the stuff that I post, and the fact that this is what I get popped for is crazy. So a friend of mine is a comedic motivational speaker, okay? And he posts crazy stuff, funny stuff all the time. So he posts this meme regarding, let's just say marital activities. But it was nothing illicit or anything like that. It was just humorous, okay?
Yeah.
So people are commenting on the post. We're having a humorous adult conversation on the post, but again, nothing outrageous,
right?
Nothing illicit, nothing like that,
right?
So one of my responses to a gift that he posted was "men are disgusting" and a bunch of laugh emojis, right?
Right.
That was the post I got popped for.
Really?
For hate speech.
That's not hate speech.
Well, I was saying that an entire group of people, this is what they said, you can't say bad things about one whole group of people. Now,
I'm sorry. words for that right now.
Well, listen, so full disclosure, I was warned. I was given a warning for the original post. And instead of behaving myself,
What did you do?
I reposted the post along with a screenshot of my restriction and then called them a bunch of morons.
Right.
And I think that might be
That's why.
the indication that the warning had not completely reformed me. And I think that's what landed me in the pokey. And I've never been in Facebook jail. Like 13 years of posting all kinds of political stuff. You know, my hits on Newsmax, my radio show.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I've never been in Facebook jail. And this is what I get popped for?
Wow.
Are you really serious? And I appealed and they denied my appeal. I mean, thus proving my point that my post was accurate. You're a bunch of morons.
You know, oh my gosh, there's so many things I want to say to that, but it is a morning show, so I'm not sure how many kids are listening in.
and when I'm telling, I mean, and unless you were a grown up, like the thread even was so benign, like unless you're an adult, you probably don't even know what we're talking about. It was like that kind of post where like nobody was saying exactly what we were talking about, but everybody knew what we were talking about because we're all grown.
Yeah, we're all adults here.
So we were all just clowning around about that. That's all.
Like I texted you last night, I just have visions of this little fascist over in China looking at this and just laughing and giggling all the way to school in regards to like putting you in Facebook jail.
Are you serious?
That's what they are.
And here's what's funny. So when I reposted the post, I really have no chill. I need to get myself together. I do need to be reformed. I need to be punished. But anyway, so I repost that and with my restriction, and like 12 men underneath the post are like, "What did you lie about? We are disgusting." Like, what? They were like, "Where's the lie? Men are disgusting." Ha ha ha. Like everybody thought it was funny, which it was funny. And when I did my appeal, I said, like, one of the choices was your comment taken out of context? So I clicked on taken out of context. They still denied my appeal.
You know, my show yesterday was all about faith and education, and they rejected my show yesterday for doing an ad on Facebook because it was getting such a high result of people watching it yesterday. So I went ahead and, well, why don't I do it? And they rejected it because it went against their community standards on faith and education. Yeah.
They really are fascists. And they have the absolute audacity to say that we're the fascists.
Right. I know.
The fact how completely apoplectic they are about Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Oh, I know.
Like, I want to be a better person and say that I'm not enjoying it. But not only am I enjoying it, like, it's literally giving me life laughing at these people. Like, just think about what you like. Do they ever just take a moment? Like, do they ever have a moment of clarity and say, what do I really, let me think about what I'm standing for here?
It's probably the same speech writers that write for Kamala and Mr. O'Biden.
I'm against people being able to. I want minors to be able to do life-changing surgeries, and I want to kill babies. These are the things that you stand for. Like, do they ever just take a journal and like write them down and like look at them?
Can I tell you something? As soon as we started talking about this, your screen started going blurry. Now it's coming back.
That's happened to me on a live on Facebook before. Especially, I think abortion might be a trigger word or something.
It is. From what Chris DeGaulle is saying, he was on 990 AM Morning Drive this morning talking about that word being a major trigger word, and it is the top Googled word right now. Or it was for the longest time.
Because I had a guest on my show one time and I was doing a live and the feed just dropped.
Yeah.
No reason.
Yep. Well, when I had my friend Marlene on and she was watching and I was talking about parental rights, she said, Eden, your words are getting all jumbled as you're saying parental rights. And then after I stopped, it stopped. She messaged me.
These people are evil.
Yes, they are. They are.
They really are. They're evil. They're seriously evil. I mean, we're joking about it, but it's not funny. Like, these people are this is China style stuff.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, I was sharing with them before you came over. Yesterday, I had the privilege to speak to an amazing school talking about elections. They're doing their own elections for president. And they're elementary to high school, and they were all in this combined group. And one of the kids said, "Well, I think I'd rather be a dictator." And I said, "Oh," and I said, "Oh my word, really?" And I'm not going to say names or anything like that. But I looked at his teacher and I said, "You know what? Why don't you do some homework?" And he had my palm cards there because we were talking about elections. He said, "What does Reagan conservative mean?" I said, "Here's your homework." And the teacher said, "Yeah, this is perfect." I said, "Write down 3 dictators and what they did to their people, and then write down everything that a Reagan conservative is and what Reagan did."
I love it.
Did I miss my call? Did I miss my call of being a teacher?
You did, except for, all the issues I talked about in my videos. But
Yes.
I taught economics as one of the things that I taught. And you should see how benign they describe communism in textbook. And so I told them, they were like, "Well, like, communism sounds kind of good." Okay.
Yep.
Look up communist countries and then look at the state of their economies and get back to me and let me know if that's how you still feel.
And that's what I want to talk about, because I was watching you all 4. Oh, well, I started and watched 4 and 3 of you being an educator and why you are no longer an educator. I was watching those clips that you posted on Facebook, and I'm surprised they weren't taken down.
Me too. Actually,
I really was. And then I also, in the time we have, and you let me know when you have to jazz and get out of there. But I want to use as much as I can of your time because I love talking with you. I get all hyped up on coffee, but I know I'm talking to you, and I know it's going to be crazy and fun.
Listen, I was going to bring my coffee in the car with me, but to be honest, because I'm talking to you, I was like, I don't want to be too relaxed. And if I had this coffee, we're just going to be sitting here shooting the breeze. We're going to be sipping coffee and like, what audience? Who? What?
Oh my gosh. Well, no,
that's why I didn't bring my coffee, because I wanted to stay relatively serious.
Well, I mean, clearly this coffee's got me high. It's Pete's pumpkin and regular coffee, but I'm waiting on my Zabar's week. I get every couple weeks I get Zabar's shipped to me from New York. It's my favorite coffee. It's right on the west side. It's a little old Jewish deli that I fell in love with when I lived up there. So I have it shipped to me. I'm wired on it. I want to talk about what happened to you as an educator, but I also wanted to break down some numbers from what you were seeing with regards to our kitchen table. How can we save money when the government wants to spend all of our money? So
they really do. They act like it's like money's not real, like it's monopoly money.
Yeah.
And when I hear the size of the numbers are so huge that I don't think that people I think people think it's also like theater. Like they're not, like it's not real money. And it is our real money, and they're borrowing on our behalf. So imagine if somebody was running your finances and they were just doing payday loans in your name, which is literally the worst kind of loan you could possibly get. They're predatory because they're for people who are super desperate and the interest rates are really high. That's what the government is doing with our tax money. And they're literally, when you say taxation is theft, like they're literally taking what they want from our paychecks and then using it in the most economically irresponsible ways. And it's absolutely crazy.
Yes.
So I took some notes because I didn't want to forget anything as far as kind of like advice for families and things like that.
Yes. So what do you got?
So I have some quick and dirties. Not like my dirty post.
Oh, wait a second. Before you do that, I don't know if you heard this. I announced that we only have 761 days until the end of Biden. Just FYI.
That sounds like a really long time,
I
man.
know, but I'm going to do the countdown.
And
I'm
he's like
determined.
express ruining the country. Like,
Can,
I can't believe how efficient he's been.
can we divide it in half and like if something happens?
Okay, but then we have President Kamala. Ma'am.
Oh, I have so many thoughts to that, but I want to be
So
careful.
do I. So do I. So do I.
She doesn't know what border she's standing on, and she doesn't know who's our ally.
We have a great alliance with North Korea. And she clearly didn't know what she was talking about, because like the minute you were like, "Nah," like you should have like self-corrected, right?
Right.
Like the minute you're like, no, North Korea is the enemy, ma'am. You're the vice president of the most powerful country, maybe, I don't know, in the world. Like we used to be.
Yeah,
the
we
most
used
powerful
to.
country in the world. It might be China now.
Yeah.
But like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But go on. Sorry.
Okay. So, number one, budget. I know it's a naughty word. When
Yes,
people
it
think
is.
of budgeting, they often think of lack, but it's the opposite. People think,
Okay.
well, now I'm going to have rules and stuff. Well, yeah. But but it's not see, people think, and often when I teach budgeting to kids, this is what they always think. They think a budget means only buying what you need and not what you want. That's not what a budget is. A budget just means every dollar that comes in, I'm going to make myself accountable for. So
Right.
if you want to take a vacation, if you like $1,200 purses, whatever it is, budget for it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Budget for it.
Okay.
Make sure that you know where every dollar is going. So there's a rule that many people don't know about called 20, 30, 50
Okay.
in budgeting. So 50% of the money you make, your income, should go to your needs, your necessities, housing, car, whatever you consider a necessity, 50% of your budget. 30% of your budget should go towards wants, entertainment, gifts, donations, etc. And then 20% you're supposed to save. And I will tell you, in some kind of way, shape, or form, whether it's investing, you can break that up however you want, but 20% of your income you should be saving. Now, I will tell you, like whenever I teach it, at least when I was teaching, I would teach a new lesson. In the back of my mind, I'd be like, yeah, Mel, you need to visit that and check it out. Like I was putting away what I thought was like a decent amount of money. Ma'am, it was nowhere near 20%. Not, and I could have been, but I just wasn't, because I hadn't done the numbers. I hadn't run the numbers. So like we think we're like guesstimating and keeping track in our mind. Nope, you gotta do the math. So if you you can use a spreadsheet if you use Google Sheets or Excel. I personally love mint.com. That's my favorite. Mint.com, mint.com.
Okay.
I personally love them. Been using them for years. It's a huge helper in tracking your expenses. And you'd be surprised what you spend when it's added up. You can see it in all kinds of different ways, like a 6-month trend, a yearly trend. It's amazing. Like I stopped buying coffee when I figured out that I was spending like $50 a month on coffee.
Oh, wow.
And I could cut that in half.
Oh, dear.
and then think about, you're like, okay, well, that's only $25. Okay, but what could you do with $25 if you invested it in a compound interest account?
Oh, wow. Okay, I feel really, really guilty right now.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Okay.
So that's that is a basic. And a lot of people don't know that basic thing. And trust me, 20% is probably not what you think it is. Because when I did the math, I was like, ma'am, you were not even close to 20%. And so I redid, because I have automatic savings accounts.
Sure.
So I went into my automatic withdrawals and readjusted it to equal 20%, because I wasn't even close.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was not even in the neighborhood. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter. You can be like, oh, I don't really make that much.
Right.
I don't care if you make 6 figures, 5 figures, 4 figures. I don't care. If you don't manage your money well, you're going to always be broke.
Right.
That's just the bottom line.
Yes.
Okay. So now I said I was going to be quick, but the budgeting thing was like really important.
No, this is great. This is great. Because why
So,
is this something that, Biden needs to be using and implementing, and so does Congress?
crap. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because my ear thing fell out. Okay. So you can hear me all right still?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, perfect. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna leave it on the laptop. So yeah, they should be using this. Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So my undergraduate degree is in business. My
Yes.
master's is in public administration, right?
Yes.
So you have budgeting classes in both. This is really interesting.
Okay.
So in business, private entities, right? You have to
Yes.
be responsible for all your money. You have to be accountable for every single dime, particularly when you're doing business budgeting.
Mhm.
In public administration, do you know
Oh, here we
that
go.
they have you budget with a deficit?
Oh my gosh.
They have you budget with money you don't have. And then this is the real killer. When you listen to pundits
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
political people
Yep. Like Kudlow.
discussing
Yeah.
budgets,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When they say that the budget is cut for next year,
Yeah.
it's not like when you cut your budget. When you say you're cutting your personal budget, when you say, you know what, I'm going to cut down on clothes. I'm going to reduce my clothing budget from $500 a month to $250 a month. You
Right.
literally mean I'm only going to spend
Sure.
$250 as
Yeah.
opposed to $500.
Right.
That's not what the government means. When the government says that the budget is going to be cut, what they're saying is they're not going to raise it.
Wow.
Yep,
So, would you apply that to local, state, and federal, or are you just
absolutely. Any
okay?
public entity.
Okay.
Like I said, my master's is in public administration, and this
Did
is
you
literally how it's done.
did
And
you
I
ever
was
have to
stunned. I had a
did you
project. One of my projects was, I don't know, to do some childcare program, some government
right.
funded childcare program, and to budget for that program, and to do like a 5-year budget.
Mhm.
And you budget with a deficit. And I said to my professor, ma'am, like, what are we doing here? What I don't understand what we're doing.
So, did you ever have to compare state by state budgets or anything of that nature? Did you
No,
ever Okay.
no. But
Okay.
now states, you know what? I'm going to correct myself.
Okay.
States are required to have a balanced budget
Mhm.
theoretically,
Right. I was gonna say.
because you can do some accounting maneuvering.
Right. Right. Because when you're
But
looking at the state you're in and the state right next to you and the state right below you, you kinda wonder what the maneuvering really is.
yes, because they're supposed to have a budget. They like states can't print money
Right.
like the Fed can.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's the rub. But people need to understand what they're listening to
Yes.
when they hear the government say that the budget's being cut. Oh my gosh, we're cutting so and so out of the budget. What that means is we really planned on adding that to the budget, and now we can't.
Right. I'm glad you explained that in layman's terms because I think many people really don't know that. I think
They don't. They do not, because I didn't know it. I was stunned. I'm like, what do you mean I'm budgeting with a deficit? That money doesn't exist.
I mean, how did you wrap your brain around that when you were working on your classes and getting things together? What did you do? Like, how do you do that?
I did what I was told. So I can get
Wow.
my A. But
Applause,
I was
applause,
like,
but
this is crazy. And I'm sure it was explained in some kind of really like super leftist way
yeah,
that I ignored,
yeah,
which is why I
yeah.
can't remember.
Of
I was
course.
like, yeah, okay, that's stupid. I'm gonna just dismiss that.
So what else do we need to know at the kitchen table to save dollars and cents?
Okay. Now this is kind of a strange recommendation, but I'm
Okay.
gonna say it anyway. If possible, streamline your mortgage. Try to refinance your mortgage. And
Okay.
normally, that is normally very good advice when you need to tighten your budget. Only because of the way interest rates are right now,
Right. I was gonna
I
ask
don't
you about
see
that.
how that's going to work.
Okay.
Now, but what you can do is you can look at the part of your mortgage is usually your homeowners.
Right.
You can make sure you shop around for that and make sure that you're getting the best rate for your homeowners. And in that way, you can reduce your mortgage. So that's
Okay.
a good thing to do. That also applies to any other debts. If you have opportunities to do zero balance transfers, the only rub with that, make sure that you're being honest to the game. Don't do a zero balance transfer and then pay the minimum payment. That defeats the whole purpose.
Right.
The purpose of doing a balance to 0% interest is to pay that puppy off before the interest hits.
Talk to me about the interest rates, because I had somebody pitch to me yesterday who'll probably be on the show, I think early next week, about interest rates going up, interest rates going down.
Going down where? When?
That's what I'm like. Well, I heard this from a couple different people, and I'm not going to cite them because I don't know of how resourceful these people are. But I'm sitting here thinking, talk to me about the interest rates. Is it even worth looking at buying a home? Is it worth? I mean,
it's a tough call, right? Because it's a personal decision,
right?
Because so on the one hand, I'm like, it's a really bad time to buy houses or cars, right? My car's been paid for a couple of years, and every now and then I'm like, oh, I should buy a new car.
Right.
But I'm like, oh my God, the interest rates just suck right now, right? It's the bad time to buy a car. But the rub is, what's it going to look like next year?
Are they going to go down?
Are the interest rates going to be 5% higher? I don't know. As long as the Biden administration is in play and the Fed keeps screwing around with the interest rate, and they're printing money while they're doing it. Like, they're literally doing this with the economy. They're doing inflationary stuff and doing like mild deflationary stuff, and inflation's like, roar. So it's just, do you like my illustrations?
Yeah. The inflation, the economic crisis, it's on drugs. That's what it looks like. It doesn't know which ends up.
I think the people setting policy are also on drugs. Like, what are they doing? Very basic economic policies. Like, I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy when they first passed that last flipping legislation, and then Elizabeth Warren claimed it was deflationary. And I'm like, well, maybe I don't understand basic economics. I mean, I teach it and all. I'm just going to go to the book and look up inflation and go back to that chapter and make sure I'm not losing my mind, because I'm pretty sure when you drop tons of money into the economy, that lowers the value of the money and makes stuff cost more. But maybe I'm crazy because Elizabeth Warren just said it was deflationary.
Well, I mean, she is Pocahontas and Biden is Puerto Rican, so
I can't with these people. I can't, and they just let them slide.
I'm like, oh my gosh, what an embarrassment!
But I have like 17% Irish blood. Do you see me walking around talking about I'm Irish? Talking about I'm white? What are we doing here?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
All right, car insurance.
Yes.
If you want to lower your payments, raise the deductible, and I would add to that, drive carefully. Right. But this is the way, like, while we're in this inflationary period, these are things that you, like, if you want to lower your monthly, spending, that's one way to do it, is to raise your deductible. You can do that.
The deductible.
That will lower your payments.
I noticed within past 6 months that my car insurance just went up.
Mine did too. And my E&O insurance, I have an insurance license. My E&O insurance like tripled. I was like, your errors and omissions.
So so their excuse is what's going up, they can go up too? Is that
I've had no claims, nothing.
Neither have I. That's why I woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, it almost doubled.
Yeah. So they renewed my policy and I was like, what is
this? Yeah.
Crazy.
So is that what we as Americans need to be really looking closely to? Because the next time we turn around, I feel like we keep getting stabbed in the back with regards to how much more money is coming out of our pockets. Even when it comes down to your internet service, we have Spectrum here in this area. Every time we turned around, it went up $20 every month. And my husband would have to call every month. What the heck? Why are you doing this? What's the purpose? They had no reason. So, and then when you go to the supermarket, and I just noticed gas pumps up, 20, 40 cents now again within the day. So what can we do so we don't get stabbed in the back? And what can we do to make sure that Biden is not continuing to steal from our pockets?
Vote.
No. Oh, vote. Really? I've been telling my audience left and right to get out and vote, but they need to educate.
Listen, and pay attention to your municipality and your state legislators.
Yes, thank you.
As well, because
Thank you.
a lot of our bills, a lot of our stuff that are getting raised, for example, your school taxes are typically tied into your municipal taxes, right? Like you pay that bill all together. And municipalities, my municipality, because it's run by Republicans, are very transparent about what pieces of your taxes are going where. We actually send out a pie chart and show
that's
people.
great. That's great.
Yeah, we send out a pie chart and says like, this is school taxes, this is this is that, this is that. Okay, so that people know, like, okay, the municipality, while we're the collecting entity, we're not getting that money. The school raised their budget. Like, make sure transparency and accountability. Pay attention to that, and you have to vote and pay attention.
Right. Exactly.
Pay attention.
I've been enforcing that and enforcing that and enforcing that. But here's the thing: when you live in a battleground state and half of you do not, or more than half of you do not vote, and then you come and complain, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And the thing is, they don't educate themselves on who is running.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
People don't believe, oh, my vote doesn't count. I live in kind of a small area comparatively to like a Manhattan or Philly or whatever.
Yeah.
We had a municipal election where one of our candidates lost by 1 vote a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Like this was recent, like within the last 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
1 vote. They did a recount and it was a 1 vote loss. So don't think.
Yeah. I mean, it is a real thing. Election integrity is real too. That is a real deal. It is a real deal.
Now, this next tip is really important.
Yes.
I want to make sure I get to this one.
Yes, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Eliminate your subscriptions.
What kind of subscriptions?
Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff. Dropbox. Like I had a $12 a month Dropbox subscription. You know how often I use Dropbox? Like twice a year.
Yeah. Now,
and I
have run into those issues, and when I noticed that when I was going to run, I knew I had to eliminate a lot of things, budgetary, knowing I wasn't going to be using it for my business, all of that. But do you have any tools and tips on how to eliminate? Because a lot of the times they make it really hard for you to go in and remove and cancel those subscriptions.
Now, I don't know how other people do it, but I tend to use like the same mechanism for all my subscriptions. So I use PayPal for all my subscriptions.
Okay.
So it was super easy for me to do it through PayPal because I just went into PayPal and they'll show you like what you've been doing.
Yeah.
And you can just be like, cancel, 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 cancel.
Yeah.
So it was really easy for me to cancel my subscriptions.
Okay.
Now there is an app called Truebill. I've never used it.
Truebill? Okay.
Yep. And mint.com, the website I mentioned earlier for tracking your expenses, also has that.
Okay.
Yep. So there's a few ways to do it. A lot of banking entities have them as well, but mint.com has it. And if you use PayPal for your subscriptions, which I use it for a lot of stuff just because I like that buffer in case there's a problem. You know what I mean? Instead of directly billing my credit card, if PayPal's an option, I always use it. But yeah, if you have your subscriptions through PayPal, it's super easy to cancel subscriptions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put mint.com up on the conversation board for people to look at. I put the 20%, 30%, 50% recommendations. And what else do you got?
Okay. Number 6, and there's two more. So invest. Okay. I don't care if it's this much money.
Okay.
I only make $25,000 a year. I can't invest anything. Yes, you can. I don't care if it's $5 a week.
Okay.
$5 a month.
Okay.
You have to think of it in terms of compounding interest.
Okay.
Okay. So no matter how much money you make, part of that 20% that we talked about saving, some of that should be going toward investing. Depends on like where you are in life, how you want to gauge that. If you're younger, you can be more aggressive and more risky. If you're midlife to older, you want to be a little more conservative. And if you're closer to retirement, you want to be super conservative. You want to do like low risk type investing.
But
I don't care how much it is. Do a little something.
Okay.
And then lastly, actually, this is second to last. Lastly, I just said second to last.
You're good. You're good.
Second to last. People never think of this one. Increase your income, honey. You might need to make more money, boo.
Yes.
You might need to get your hustle on.
Yes. I completely agree on that one.
Yeah, a lot of people,
business,
when they think about budgeting, they go, "Oh, but I'm gonna have to cut this. I'm gonna have to cut that."
Yep.
They don't think about the other side of the ledger.
Yes.
You can add to the credit side of the ledger.
Yes.
And get more money in your account, even if it's temporary or whatever. And a lot of people have like extra stuff in their house they could sell.
Yeah.
Sell stuff. We as Americans just have too much stuff.
Yes, we do. I completely agree. I'll be the first one to agree that. Yes, we do.
Same. So sell stuff. Get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Get rid of stuff. Now, my last one. That's why.
Oh, here we go. Drum roll.
Listen to fantastic radio shows and podcasts like Money Talk with Melanie.
That's the best one out of all.
Money Talk with Melanie on 98.7 The Coast, and posted as a podcast anywhere where you listen to your podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, etc. If you're not doing that, then what are you even doing with your financial life?
Yes, and for all of those listening out there, I have been listening to your podcast, and I have learned so much. The one I listened to last night, aside from your education talks on Facebook, was the lady that came on to talk about using Zoom. How is it affecting your business? How is it affecting your interviews? And I thought, oh my gosh, those are such valid points that a lot of people don't talk about. So for all of those listening and tuning in, you need to watch Melanie Collette, or listen to her. Money Talk with Melanie, Wednesday nights, 98.7 The Coast, speaker, Apple, iTunes, all of the above.
Everywhere.
You can find her there. On final note, since you are so close to Pennsylvania, what do you think of Fetterwoman and Oz? It's neck to neck.
I feel like it's like the 2016 election there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a choice between a poo sandwich and a poo sandwich with cheese. Like you.
Oh my gosh. I was listening to Chris DeGaulle this morning, who's my favorite, morning drive, 9:90 a.m. And he had played a clip that I guess Fetterman called him Fetterwoman or something. It's called himself that or something like that. And I kept listening to his clip when he was saying, and the Eagles. And I'm thinking, this guy is not right. And that's what's really scary to me about, and I said earlier in the broadcast to my family, I think it's time you move south, because I'm afraid he's going to be your next senator. And
don't say that. Don't.
I know. I really want Oz to win poo sandwich with cheese, but I can't get over what people are thinking, that they'd actually want to vote for this guy.
This guy's a moron. And this dude legit chased an unarmed black dude with a gun as an elected official. And he was like, oh, that wasn't racial, my bad. And everybody's like, okay, cool. Like, what?
Seriously?
What? If I had done that, I had chased an unarmed black man with a gun, they would legitimately be dragging me all over social media and calling me a self-hating racist.
Yes, they would be.
Because I'm a conservative.
Yes.
So, like, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. I know. I agree. But the thing is, I don't think his cognitive levels are even there. It's almost like watching him and Biden in the same room. And it's like things aren't clicking. Things are not clicking. I don't know if they didn't have their Ensure that morning, but things are not clicking.
The math is not mathing. Things are not clicking. It's a whole entire problem. Listen, Pennsylvania, y'all better get it together.
No kidding.
You're about to have an entire problem. Like, this Senate race is really important. And Republicans, if y'all sit on the fence, this is why Trump lost.
Yes.
Y'all got emotional and sat on the fence. I'm blaming you. Yes, right. Send all your hate tweets to @NJGOPDiva. Do it.
Oh, let me pull up the thing really quickly. Hold on a second. So you know where to find her. There she is, right there. She's still in Facebook jail.
That's right. @NJGOPDiva. Send your hate tweets there. But all of y'all, especially those of you who you knew could have got those electoral votes, and you sat on the fence because you were mad about his tweets, man, forget you. Get off the couch and vote. We need the Senate. What are you doing?
Yes.
Stop being emotional. Stop thinking about like a liberal and get your act together. This is important. This is our pocketbooks we're talking about.
Yes.
President Biden told us what he was going to do. Oh, definitely. Gas prices definitely going up. Hilarious.
Yeah.
No, not hilarious, because it's not just what you're putting in your gas tank. Guess what, folks? Your goods and services get transported via vehicles that use gas, which means the cost of doing that is going to go up. So it's not just the gas in your tank. It's the cost of everything. This man said right in the camera that he was going to raise gas prices. And y'all did it anyway.
Yes.
And Republicans stay home because they were mad that, President Trump doesn't speak with the elegance and delicateness to your precious emotions. Man, my pocketbook doesn't care about that.
Exactly.
Like what my mint.com app is looking at me like, man, what's happening? Talk to President Biden. Hey, I don't know what to tell you.
When are you going to be on Newsmax again? When are you on again?
Monday at 3:30 on American Agenda.
Do you know what your hits yet? What's it going to be? What's the topic?
No, they don't tell me till that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for everybody watching Newsmax, American Agenda, what time is that? Usually 1 o'clock?
3:30 Eastern time.
3:30. Okay. And if any of you have taken anything away from this interview with Melanie Collette, we need to vote. We have 32 days left to get off your tuchuses and go vote. I know it's a morning show, so I'm not going to say anything else other than get off the tuchuses. You have got to get your acts together. Otherwise, this country is going to go to hell in a handbasket. Bottom line, I will continue to raise that flag behind me. I will continue to be Rosie the Riveter. But at the end of the day, we all got a job to do. Just like Governor DeSantis says, America's governor. We have got a job to do. We have got to get to work. Bottom line.
Yep.
Bottom line. So any final words? We have 5 minutes left. I'm going to wrap it up with some fun music.
We've said it all.
You think so?
If somebody wants to put money on my books in the Facey jail, I'd appreciate it.
I love it. Well, Money Talk with Melanie, Wednesday night, 7 to 9. Yep. You guys got to tune in. You'll learn something new every week. Hey, thanks for coming and joining. I'd love to have you every week for a news headline and just bounce back and drink some coffee if you're up for it.
Ma'am, I would love that.
Oh, thank you. Love it. Thanks for being a part of my tribe.
Absolutely. Thank you for being a part of mine, babe. Love you.
Welcome. Love you too. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a great morning with Money Talk with Melody. Oh, what a hoot. She is such a great friend of mine. It is 5 minutes until 10 a.m. Eastern time. It is Thursday, October the 6th. Tomorrow, we will have Christian Anschutz. He is with Task Force Tribute. Thank you, Marlene Norgard, if you're listening in for the introduction, the recommendation. We're going to be talking about our veterans, our military. We're going to be talking about providing job transitions and the transitions for our veterans tomorrow on remembering everybody deployed and remembering our veterans and our military families. So that is a special tomorrow. Also, next week, can I tell you really, really quickly, we have got, if those of faith, we have got to be alert to what is happening in our nation with regards to faith in the public square. Family Research Council is putting on an event with former Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann next week. It is at Cornerstone Chapel. It's called Christian Nationalism, October the 12th, 7 p.m. And Dr. Mark Harris, who is with Family Research Council, will be joining us next week to break it down, how the event went, the speakers, the topic at hand, Christianity. And we are a threat to the left. We are a threat to what is happening in our nation's capital. We are a threat, bottom line. So he's going to be breaking down that for us next week. Also, we have some very special guests coming to you in the very next couple of weeks. Names you will recognize, people and faces you will love to see. I cannot wait to bring them to you. For all of those tuning in on Common Sense America, I am Eden Hill. God bless you. Put on that full armor of God. It's time to get to work. Get out and vote. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.